going, folks? Name is Nick. The garden cat lives right back there in those chairs, if you can see that. Drinking some water off of them. And this is a 2-hour permaculture vlog. So I'm basically going to be doing a garden update, or really just a general homestead update. I'm going to try to do a weekly update. Since I'm not doing as many videos daily at this point, I figured I want to do at least one kind of featured weekly update, just so I can update you on what's going on in the homestead, what's happening with me, etc. So that's what's going to be today, and that's what I'm going to try to do. I think every Monday. I think that makes sense, Monday-ish, or around Monday. Just to kind of start the week off, give us an idea of what's going on, and then potentially get ready for some projects that we're going to be doing. And we're going to obviously check on the chickens and see what else is going on. So without further ado, let's just get started. It's a small little bit of rain, under 0.1 of an inch, so I'm not even going to check it. I tend to just kind of look at that and note it in my head. And then when I get a bigger rain, I'll actually just subtract that. So that's what I'm doing there. Here are the chickens. I got 2 mamas right down below me. I see, and then there's the 2 chicks. There's one here and one over there. Doing quite well, starting to be a little bit more independent, good to see. And of course, Henry, as always, a little bit, he's right over here. Yeah, there he is. These guys are doing well. They are enjoying their time back here. They're also enjoying the fact that I'm here more often, because I am working at home now. So I actually have a job working online. I'm actually helping grade final design exercises for permaculture classes online. So pretty excited. I get to actually work doing permaculture online from home, so that's really exciting for me. So yeah, I'm just trying to fully immerse myself into the permaculture world, and while doing so, it's just taking me a little bit of extra time, so I'm not producing as many videos, and that's why. It's not because I'm stopping this, it's not because I don't want to do this anymore, it's just because I'm trying to get a life balance worked out first before I really start jumping into more of the daily vlog, or 4 to 5 times a week kind of vlog routine. So have no fear, I will be back on my kind of regular scheduled vlog basis, but for the next few weeks, and especially because it is right around hurricane season, it's going to be a little bit less so. Henry's getting more and more bold, starting to fly up here. What you doing, bud? Look, I got some bread for you. You know what that is? Do you like bread? Slightly over toasted. Not for you? You gotta go into your pen though. You gotta go into your pen or you're gonna get attacked. You're gonna get attacked if you're in this pen. Come on. I'll be right there in a minute. Give these guys this bread. Don't know if they'll eat it or not. And the compost, which they definitely will, because there's definitely some rice in here. Oops. Forgot that there's a little piece in here. This is a new kind of compost or food scrap little bin thing that Katie got. Helps keep it a little less stinky, keep a little less of the fruit flies, because we're in summer here, so the fruit flies are really booming. So they're all over the place if we don't cover up our fruit really quickly. So yeah, my main story recently is just trying to find the balance between all my things that I have going on here. And on top of working online and having that gig going on, I also have some more exciting news. On top of all the trying to balance everything in life that I kind of currently have going on, I also have some other kind of cool news, in that I have a official permaculture consultancy booked here in Puerto Rico. It's actually contacted by a family who wants to essentially pick out some land to have a small hobby farm, and they want some help kind of helping select the land that they're going to end up buying, since they don't have much experience in growing food, but they do want to get started. So they want some help selecting the land, making sure it's like a land that would actually work as a hobby farm. And once that land, so it'll be a few site visits, probably just checking out different pieces of land and making sure that they're actually there. I get to do some base map creation, some contour map creation online, just so we have something to work off of when we're there. Good boy. Good boy, Otto. Once the site is selected, then sounds like they want some help with the actual full design process, and then helping them at least partially with the implementation. whether that be helping them find the right contractors that can do it or actually doing some of it myself. So it sounds like a really great gig for me. I get to actually do a full permaculture design here in Puerto Rico and start down that road of consulting and actually doing this work for a living. So very exciting for me. I'm very happy to have this opportunity and to be able to show off those design skills that I've been developing for a while. Yeah, we'll see kind of where it leads. And at this point, we're just waiting for the family to have time to all go together to check out some land, and for the realtors to find some property that actually has a clear title here. Because in Puerto Rico, the way property and ownership is transferred and various different types of things that people own here, it's just a little complex. Ownership is kind of like passed down from father or mother to the daughters and the sons, and from there, if they have daughters and sons, so you know, it just kind of keeps passing down, and there's not really, pretty much anyone who has partial ownership in the property has to sign off completely that they don't want to own it anymore. And oftentimes it's really hard to track down all those people because they don't even live in Puerto Rico anymore. They live in the States or they live elsewhere in the world. So it's kind of hard to actually find a property that's completely clear of a title. So at this point, it's just waiting on that. And then once we have some properties, we're going to go start looking at them, and we'll kind of start the process. So I'm very excited for that. That's kind of my update, my life update, working online, doing permaculture reviews essentially, and then prepping to go do some actual consultation work here on the island. So very excited for me. I'm very excited for me. I know you guys don't need to be, but I am very, it's not really exciting for me. It's just, I'm excited to actually start doing the things that I really want to be doing here in Puerto Rico. It's been some time coming, and it's actually starting now. So it's exciting to see that result from all the work you put in. Hey, that's the garden. That's the garden. You're in the garden right now. You know what that means? It's a no. Don't go in the garden. I'll pull you away again if I have to. Don't make me. Otto. Nope. 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 All right, so you can see things are just getting a little bit crowded, especially in this garden here. So I want to clean this up real quick. It shouldn't take too long, I don't think. I just have to keep an eye over here on Otto because he seems to really want to get into that garden. Well, good boy. Stay away. So, sorry, back to this. It looks, things are getting pretty overgrown, but look here. We have one zucchini that looks like it's going to die off. This one seems not so happy, but this one right here actually has a full form all the way up to the end there. I think this one maybe will work. Might be our first zucchini here. So it looks like the plant that I had up here is actually the one that's producing the best, and it's clearly growing the best. It's super happy, super healthy right here. It actually keeps wanting to grow into the pathway. I've had to move it back up on there a few times because it keeps falling over in here. So it's pretty exciting to see. But yeah, it's time to clean this bed up a little bit. It's getting just a little bit too crowded for my taste. So we're going to do that real quick. So I'm actually going to clear out all the canna lily. That's not the turmeric, because I want the turmeric to take over now. And really the only reason I can tell, these ones are a little bit more like kind of lighter green than the turmeric, which is the darker green. And I just kind of have seen this so much that I know which one it is, but it's kind of hard to tell, honestly. They're both in the same family, so they have very similar growth patterns. We also have this sweet potato trying to come in here, which I wouldn't really mind, but this sweet potato's root crop as well, and all the turmeric's a root crop, so I don't really want to kind of mix those two. They'll end up getting out of control. But I don't know if you guys have done this before. If you ever need to do, if you ever have sweet potato and you want to do make more sweet potato, look for little places right at the intersection of where they put out leaves. And if this is touching the ground or something moist, you'll start to see these are just roots that just start. So if you don't have these roots, you can just stick this into a bucket of water for a few days and they'll start growing the roots. But if you have any roots like this, you can actually just take this cutting, maybe even like put like 7 roots down or something like that. And so I could probably get 2 out of this one here because it's pretty long. But you can actually just cut this right here, and then you have 2 lengths, one here and one here, and all that will probably end up becoming sweet potato, because that's just how it works. It's all these roots things. Once these go down, at the end of these roots, that's where the actual sweet potatoes are going to be forming. So this right here is potentially new sweet potato for me. Unfortunately, I don't really have a place I need to put that right now, so it's just going to go to the chickens, which is fine too, because we have plenty of other sweet potato that I can be using. All right, so with my onion zucchinis, what I think I did is I just ended up removing too much of the plant every time when I was pruning it, cutting it back. I just cut too much back, and I kept stressing it and stressing it. I think that's why it wasn't really producing so well. So I'm trying not to do that on this one. I just cut off a few of the bottom leaves that are starting to get that kind of powdery mildew on them. So I'm actually removing the 2 other smaller zucchini plants I have that aren't doing so well. I'm just going to remove them completely and just let this one really be kind of growing and be the one that's taken over. There we have it. So let's just take a look in this bed real quick. We have a zucchini that's doing quite well. Hopefully it'll keep producing for us. We'll see if it actually produces an actual zucchini. This is komatsuna, an Asian green. It was I just threw a whole bunch of seeds of different types of kind of Asian-y greens down. This is the one that took. So that's the one that's in here. There's a bunch of we have garlic chives, we have regular chives and garlic chives in here. They're starting to really get to the point where we can actually start harvesting them. That's really exciting. Whole bunch of kale that just keeps on producing. They're small, but it's fresh kale that we get to come out and harvest whenever we want, so that's nice. Here's a bunch of green beans. These guys were actually from a plant that was down in that garden there, and I just took the seeds and I just threw them in here, and this one's doing quite well. It's actually spreading out quite a bit. That's exactly what I want to do. There are some small little green beans on there. You can see right in there, small little guys on. This one had some on a while ago, but I never actually got out to catch it. It looks like they're still pretty small in there, so maybe it just needs some more light. So this little cleanup may have helped them. I'll bring them out a little bit. Maybe it'll get a little bit more light. And then these jalapenos, which are not really producing that much, but there are some flowers on here. These are just really, really bushy. So I have a feeling it's there's not even enough airflow. So I could probably come in and prune these a little bit, and maybe I get more production from them if I just kind of clean it up so it's a little less bushy in here. But you know, I've often seen a lot of these kind of pepper plants just really, really dense, and they produce a lot too. So just kind of experimentation, see what works. Right now, what we got going is they're not producing that much. So, but you know, it's okay. Of course, Otto's been watching me the whole time. He's been pretty close. And then this is all the results. So all this is just a nice green, fresh stuff that's going to go right into the chicken pen. There we have it. Nice. It's cleaned up. It still looks pretty, you know, messy, quote unquote, but it is much more clean than it was before. And this is going to just give all these plants some more light to access, and a little bit less competition from all those excess weeds growing. So tomatoes, looks like we have another one that's bit the dust. This one right here goes all the way down, and where does it end actually? Oh, it's this one right here, the one that comes down right there. It looks like that entire one is dead, so that one can be taken off, but I'm actually going to keep it there for now because it's actually supporting another one right here. So I'm not really too concerned about taking it down. These guys are still producing for us pretty well, and there's actually peppers that I had planted underneath a long time ago, and now they're actually starting to grow out. So having these peppers ready to take over when these tomatoes dies was really a huge benefit, because now they're growing. It looks like they're really happy. They have the sunlight that they want and need, and hopefully we'll get some production out of them. And that was just from them sitting there and waiting. So it was a much longer term investment there. We'd put them in, had to wait a long time till the tomatoes were done producing, but now it looks like we might get some production there too. So keep on planting, successional planting. Think about what's coming next after you're done with your current crop. Make sure it's either planted before that one's done, or you have some transplants ready to go in, so you're just ready to keep moving. But yeah, personally I like to plant underneath. Anytime I can plant underneath something and have it get a little bit extra growth in the protection of one of the plants that's already growing, that ends up being a benefit, especially here in the tropics, because it can get pretty hot. Take my daily dose of minerals. Let's have a moringa tree right here. The rooster started to try to mount one of the chicks, which is a good sign, meaning it's probably a female. And it's also means that the rooster is starting to see them as adult hens, or at least beginning to, kind of juvenile into adult hens. So that means we actually might have some more egg production, and actually means I could probably introduce Henry sooner, because once the chicks become less need to be guarded by mama and are kind of standing out on their own, I think it's gonna be much easier to reintroduce or really introduce Henry into the flock. This guy, guardian of the papaya, hanging out here on the tree. He was showing off earlier, doing his little dance. But it's nice to see this, just the pathway edge clear a little bit and have a little bit more access to this bed. Excited to see that. One more, let's just do a really quick, very quick overall update of the garden so you guys are aware of what's going on. Down here, I have I transplanted like I was talking about earlier with those sweet potato cuttings with the roots growing out. That's exactly what I did in this bed a few weeks back. I'll link that above if I can remember to do that. And so you can see all these sweet potatoes here. Those were just cuttings that I threw in here, and I basically buried the entire cutting length in the ground with the leaves sticking out. So hopefully I'll have a huge crop of sweet potatoes, because each one of those little root nodules, each one of those intersections where the leaves are, where the roots are coming out, that's a potential sweet potato for you. So that's why I wanted to really maximize the space there. So I buried the whole cutting under. You can also see more of this Asian green. They're all starting to come up, pretty happy. And we have no more cucumbers. That's completely done. The squash here has finally died back just completely, and I actually just let it die back because then it's just going to kind of decompose right here, and I'm okay with that. So the peppers that have been in here for a while, they're really starting to take off. These guys are pretty big at this point. These are actually the healthiest ones I've seen so far, so I'm pretty happy to see that. It makes sense because the peppers up here did pretty well too. This one that was starting to die off is now completely dead, so that one's going to be they'll just be kind of cut down and left. We'll leave the roots in the ground there. I already talked about this one, how the peppers are doing really well. Tomatoes are dying back. Up here, we've already harvested once from all these pepper plants, and they are starting to look like they're going to put out some new buds for us. We might actually get a second harvest on these guys. I need to clean up this bed too, it looks like. Maybe I'll do that in next video, hopefully next couple days. And just kind of clean this up just a little bit. It's not too bad right now. I don't mind some cover throughout the whole thing. If there's a little extra ground cover on top of what I'm trying to grow, that's okay with me. But if it gets to the point where it's inhibiting the growth that I want to be here, then that's where there's the issue. Here's the auto. You got this zinnias kind of going crazy. It keeps falling over, but they're continuing to produce nonstop. And up here, this is my newest bed of arugula. And the arugula is all starting to come up. It's all this stuff here that you see kind of growing. It's all starting to come up. Just trying to remove these weeds here. And let's see, this is the comfrey. I'll link the video I did about taking the comfrey root divisions, but you can see here, died back a little bit, but then right here, there's nice fresh green growth. That's doing well. Down here, again, you can see this is that one that I transplanted right there. Again, this one was the one that was pretty sad, but you can see right in the back there is a nice leaf coming up off the ground there. So that's probably going to be a new comfrey plant for us. And then all down here, all this arugula doing just fine. The key here is just to keep these vines off, because the vines will take over completely. And so it's just a constant take them off, make sure they're not taking over, at least where I want them to be, or where I don't want them to be. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed this episode, this little update, a weekly update. I'm going to try to basically base most of my videos probably next few weeks off of this weekly update. We'll do one major weekly update, and then if I can fit in a few more videos throughout the week, I will, I promise you. It's just I'm so really working on my kind of work-life balance right now, and sometimes I just can't get around to producing the videos. So but I'm not done with them, like I keep saying. These are going to be lasting into the future. So yeah, hopefully do another video this week. That's going to be my goal, 1 or 2 more videos this week, just to have just keep it going. You know, it's nice to kind of keep it rolling, keep some more videos coming out on a normal basis. But yeah, at least once a week I'm going to give you a general update of my life and what's going on. And then once we start those the consultation projects, I'm going to try to bring you along. It might not be for the whole thing because I do need to be, be professional and actually make sure I'm working with the client and everything, but I might just try to take a final 10-15 minutes before we leave the site and just do a quick little video, just show you guys what I saw, see what I'm doing, observing the land, tell you things I've noticed, etc. And then what's nice is I'll be able to take you through the whole design process a little bit and kind of talk to you about my thought processes behind all that. And that was really my goal. I really wanted to get going once I got my consultation going, that I can actually take you guys along the journey, so you can kind of see a little bit about what I mean by what a consultation is and what I'm doing in that in a permaculture consultation. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you do like what I'm doing, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me get more motivation to keep going. I know I'm not producing as many, but if you do like the ones that I am producing, please subscribe or share videos if you do find one that you really like. Check out the compost video. I always leave that link at the end of this video because those are the ones I'm really passionate about. So check out the compost video. And yeah, till next time, have a good one.